Hello guys, today, I want to tell you a short but interesting story, so stay with me until the end. One rainy and stormy night, I found myself next to a coy fireplace in a log cabin in the mountains. This hut belonged to an old man who had lived there for many years. He always told strange stories about ghosts and mythical creatures. The night before I arrived, the old man had disappeared and no one had heard of him. I immediately remembered his stories. One of them was about a forbidden room in the basement of the hut, which was said to be inhabited by a malevolent spirit. My curiosity got the better of my courage, and I decided to search the room. After several hours of searching the shack, I finally entered the basement. A dark and damp atmosphere with the smell of dampness and decay surrounded me. In a corner of the basement, an old and rusty door caught my attention. I put my hand on the doorbell and opened the door. Inside the room, everything was messy and dark. The walls were full of strange paintings that looked like they were drawn in blood. Suddenly, I heard a hissing sound from a corner. I fearfully looked towards the sound and saw a shadow moving in the darkness. My heart was beating very fast. I stepped cautiously and approached the shadow. That shadow was a young girl whose eyes were very bright and her hair was like the threads of the night. "I'm stuck here," he told me. "No one can leave this room." His voice was full of pain and despair. Many questions arose in my mind. Who was he and why was he stuck in this room? He explained that many years ago, an evil witchcraft ritual had been performed in this hut, and he was the victim of that ritual. He was sure that if I could find a broken mirror, it could free him. I didn't know if I should trust him or not, but I felt I had to. I ran and wandered to other parts of the hut in search of broken mirrors. In one of the rooms, under a table, I found an old and broken mirror. I will quickly return to the room with it. When I returned to the room, I noticed that the girl had disappeared. I immediately felt strange. Immediately I noticed that the hut began to shake and the walls rattled violently. I felt that the girl's spirit was released from this room, but also connected with me. In desperation, I tried to get out of the basement, but the door was locked and there was nowhere to escape. Suddenly I heard his voice in my ear, "This room is a part of me, and you can't leave so easily." I realized with horror that now I also belonged to this room. Hours passed and I suffered in the dark. Desperation took hold of me until somewhere deep inside I decided that I had to overcome my fear. As I repeated the girl's name and remembered what I had helped her with, I felt a strange energy in the space. Suddenly the basement door opened slowly and I felt free. I quickly got out of the basement, and when I reached the cottage, I once again decided to go back to the city. But before I left, I saw a tree in the yard of the cottage whose leaves danced in a certain way in the wind, reminding me that stories never end, and maybe one day, I would come back. From that night on, whenever I think of that girl, I shudder, knowing that some souls in dark places are still searching for freedom. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.